Hey everybody, good to see you again, my friends. Another good reason to be together today. I'm making another supplemental video evidence for everybody. Once again, this narrative comes to us from the oral traditions passed down to us by our Native American Moorish tribesmen, and we're just gonna do our part in transmitting this information to the rest of our people. And once again, this is the argument of the natives of the Americas and the narrative and the literal history of the Native Americas. And we're just going to go over some quick evidence. And I will also link another presentation with that I created that has a lot more interesting photographs, historical photographs. So we'll just do a quick video here. So the forgotten or unknown Olmec. This is one of the famous ruins of Tres Zapotes. And this is in South America. It's called El Negro. And we can see the striking resemblance to the African phenotype of today. And again, in this rendition, the New World is actually the Old World. And we see that with the presentation that I've compiled for everyone today. Because we're going to see that all of the modern phenotypes, how people look, the expression of their genetics in a physical sense, all of those ancient phenotypes actually originated from the Americas, and then they radiated to the other parts of the world. They were existing and coexisting in the Americas for thousands and perhaps even millions of years. This rendition predates the antediluvian history, what they call the pre-flood civilizations. After there were many of these flood myths, ancient flood myths from Tibet, South America, the Bible, many different native traditions from South Africa, lots of different places. So we see the striking resemblance again to the African phenotype. And this is the reason why we actually see the delineation or the stratification or the compartmentalization of the races in the New World of Africa, Asia, and Europe. This is what actually contributes to how we see this separation and delineation. Whereas in the Americas, we were all cohabitating, coexisting. We were literally part of the same tribes, as we'll see in this compilation evidence. So the Olmec head was dated to somewhere around 1600 BC. State of Veracruz. Feel free to double check all of this research. Here's another Olmec head statue, enormous statue found in the deep forest. And we can even see here that it has the actual African hairstyle in the back. Okay, it's just more evidence. And here's another Native American. And we can see the real history of Black Native Americans. So there's a lot of other people talking about this. It's not just me. Keep that in mind. This story, this history comes from Native Americans. So when we're trying to disprove or debunk this narrative, we have to go beyond the person who's bringing this data to light and actually explore the arguments, the oral traditions of the Native Americans to actually contend with the colonialist version that we've received in the re-education camps of modern schools. Okay, the Monacans. This was another tribe that I went over previously, the Monacans. We see blue eyes. We see a very different nose from the European nose, just like we see very different noses in the Native American African phenotypes when we compare them to the pure African phenotypes. And keep in mind the large genetic discrepancy between the two African members of what we went over in the previous video, Dispelling the Slavery Narrative. Here's another Monacan from Central Virginia. We see the light skin color. More Virginia tribes. And again, they'll constantly, the government and the different types of entities will constantly try and say, oh, well, these were the interbreeding of the Spanish or the Irish or the what have you. And while that did occur, these tribes, these Native American skin colors were already present before the slavery narrative. Here's another light-skinned tribe from Texas. Okay, and now we're going into the Asian phenotypes. The Selknam from Chile. Very Asian, Chinese, almost Laotian. More Selknam children. So just to give you an idea that all of the phenotypes originated from the Americas in the deep ancient past. We're talking 500,000 years ago, 1 million years ago. We've been here a long time. And I provided all of this research on my website for free at savanada.org. The paper is called The True Age of Humanity. Here's a better photo of the Selknam children. Here's another photo, the Wayana. She's from Suriname, and you can see again she has a very Asian phenotype. Suriname is east of Venezuela in South America. So just another evidence that all of the phenotypes we see in the world literally came from the Americas. Something happened to Africa in the deep ancient past that wiped out all of the hominid life, or the majority of hominid life. At that time, in this rendition, it was uninhabitable by humans. There was either some kind of counterculture or some sort of other hominid race who was very powerful and technological, even perhaps. So this is a very big subject, and it takes a lot of energy and self-discovery and determination and discipline to actually go into the history that we still have access to. And we should be doing this. It's our duty to do this for all of the generations to come, for posterity, as they say. So that's why I'm doing my part. I'm making these presentations to substantiate the Native American oral traditions of my friends and my teachers, the Moorish African tribesmen who are Native Americans in the Americas, as well as my other teachers who are Native American. So I hope this video explains kind of what I'm talking about and in more detail. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to send me a message. And it's good to see you all again, my friends. I hope you're doing well, and thank you again.